Namaskar friends, this is lecture 4 of module 8 of the stress management course. I am Shubhra Sinha, your course instructor, and I welcome you back to the learning of internet addiction and its various forms. In this series, we are back with a discussion on gaming addiction, a form of internet addiction which is quite prevalent in our youth. It quickly engages children, both young and old, adolescents, and young adults in its attraction, consuming much of their time, creating a lot of difficulties in their lives. So, in this section, we are going to have an exclusive discussion of gaming addiction, its definition and symptoms, causes, consequences, and its effective management. Let us begin with the idea of gaming addiction. As I was talking earlier also, an excessive and compulsive consumption of video games refers to as gaming addiction or gaming disorder. This can have several negative impacts on individuals, leading to impairments which are from mild to moderate and sometimes severe in nature. This excessive gaming can result in neglect of important responsibilities, strained relationships, and impaired performances in various areas of life. The uncontrolled behavior, where the user finds it difficult to regulate gaming habit despite of experiencing its negative effect, is common. Withdrawal symptoms are seen, the person get irritated, restless and anxious whenever they are restricted from playing video games. Tolerance is also found in this case, means in order to derive the same level of happiness and satisfaction, one has to spend more time playing video games than what he or she used to do earlier. So, a tolerance is gradually being built up. Looking at the causes of gaming addiction, we find that dopamine release is a primary cause because the person playing the game feels happy, feels engaged, feels stimulated as a result of playing such games. It happens to release of dopamine. It causes the release of dopamine in the nervous system. One can find relief from the negative emotions of real life. So it serves as a temporary escape from the hardships of real life, from the challenges and demands which are being posed on the individual in real life. However, this is simply a temporary escape, worsening the real life situation even more. Then it also gives a feeling of connectedness with others. There are games which are played with co-players or which are played in teams. So, it gives you a feel of being connected to others and having playmates which a person may lack in real life. So, it is like fulfilling the desires of having playmates belonging to a group of people through the virtual world if all these things are not available to us in reality. Then the gaming design itself is a cause of addicting oneself to such behavior. The designs are captivating, they are so engaging that with every increasing level of challenge, the user gets submerged with such games. As the system progresses, the challenges grow. more and more rewards are available, and there is a kind of social competition which is introduced. All of us might have noticed that while playing such online games, such video games, after completing a level or two, there start appearing certain names of some fictitious individuals, and the system it starts showing that you are performing better than all those individuals who also play this game. So this instantly gives you a feeling of achievement, and sometimes this feeling is so intense, it is so captivating, that one becomes ready to do anything in order to crack a particular level. We all remember how some teenagers committed suicide just to fulfill the challenge given by a video game. The video game was so engaging and it was so addictive that later on the government has to ban that particular game. So, this was the power of the design of these games which are being played by our youth. Here are certain consequences of gaming addiction. For example, the user can get preoccupied with it. Means when we are actually not playing the game, we keep on thinking about the game and the next levels and the way challenges can be successfully met. So, practically, we are preoccupied with the game itself throughout the day. Then comes withdrawal symptoms. If we are not allowed to play the game, if we are not allowed to access to the mobile phone, we start feeling anxious, restless, irritated, as if something important is being taken away from our lives. Another important symptom is tolerance, that is, increasing activity, increasing time is required to provide the same level of satisfaction to the user. Because of our extreme engagement in online gaming, we can find a loss of interest in other activities, that are physical gaming, studies, job related tasks, home related responsibilities, and social interactions. Then there is a poor or impaired control. Even if we want to stop, we cannot stop gaming on our own. Even if we find clear negative consequences of continuing with the game, we can't keep ourselves from playing. So, this is another important drawback of gaming addiction. People start deception. They start using deception. They start lying to their family members and friends about the time spent on online gaming. They can use games as an escape from their guilt, from their negative emotions like hopelessness, like worthlessness or anxiety, or it may also arise out of social anxiety, that is, an anxiety to interact with people in social situations. So, we try to be with online participants, with online colleagues, with online friends, which are not present in our real life, and we find much less anxious interacting with them because we have a certain level of control over these interactions. Similarly, the person, the user who is extremely engaged in online gaming can quickly develop depression, possibly due to social isolation, excessive escapism, or disrupted sleep patterns. Sleep disturbances are common, then aggression increases in people who are addicted to online games. These aggressions can be expressed through thoughts, words, or behaviors. Emotional difficulties are also common. Distress and difficulty in analyzing and managing complex emotion is a characteristic of gaming addiction people. Loneliness and isolation are inevitable as we start prioritizing virtual world over real world, many times leading to low self-esteem due to negative feedbacks or unexpected comments that we receive from others for our performance. However, there are certain steps that can be taken in order to manage gaming addiction. As it is also a part of internet addiction, so certain management skills would be common. For example, use of cognitive behavioral therapy is again effective and important in controlling gaming addiction also, as it is in case of internet addiction, other forms of internet addictions. We can connect with support networks either digitally or physically. Here are certain support networks which are available. For example, Online Gamers Anonymous and Gaming Addicts Anonymous are the two peer support networks, and they operate on a 12-step model which is similar to those used for people who are addicted to some sort of drugs or who are suffering from any other kind of substance addiction. So these 12-step models, they offer a space to individuals to share their experiences and to support each other in recovery process. Similarly, Internet and Technology Addicts Anonymous is a broader support group addressing various forms of technology addiction, including gaming. There are residential rehabilitation programs also that can be taken up in severe cases where individuals who struggle to manage their gaming habits in their daily environment can be put in inpatient treatment centers. These centers offer a structured, game-free environment with intensive therapy and support. So, when such programs provide a period of separation from gaming, it helps in establishing a better, healthier routines for the addicts. Self-help strategies can be incorporated and long-term lifestyle changes must be done. For example, setting limits for screen time and boundaries to track how much time can be spent over online gaming or other internet activities daily. We can also find effective alternative activities. For example, if we are not playing online games, what can be done in this time which is freely available to us? So, if we do not want to study to fill this gap, I can try gardening, or I can try some sort of sports or arts or music or dance, anything, whatever I like, or I can simply talk to others or read an interesting book. Of course, physically, not on the laptop or mobile, because that may increase the risk of getting into internet activities again. We can prioritize the real world relationships by spending good quality time with people, and in this way we can also combat the social isolation part of the gaming addiction. We should work on improving the sleep hygiene, that is, maintaining a regular sleep schedule and avoiding gaming just before we are supposed to enter into the bed. We should also keep an eye over the triggers. Triggers here means the emotions or the situations in which we find compelled to play video games or to get indulged in online activities. Such triggers must be identified and they must be either avoided or managed carefully so that they cannot push us to online gaming behavior. Practicing self-care is also a good idea. This will help promoting our well-being, and these behaviors can include behaviors like exercise, healthy eating, and relaxation techniques, meditation, mindfulness, and progressive muscle relaxation, along with deep breathing exercises, which we commonly know in pranayama. So, creating a structured routine is also of help. We can plan our day in advance, fix up our priorities, block time for those prioritized tasks, thereby leaving less time available for such kind of activities like online gaming. Then, digital detox also works. Taking temporary breaks from all digital devices, including video games, can reset our schedule and help us to gain another perspective, alternate perspective, rather than using internet addiction or gaming addiction as an escape from negative emotions. So, here is a quick recap of what we studied in this lecture. Gaming addiction is when it happens when someone can't control their gaming habits, prioritizing gaming over other part of their life and keep gaming even when it causes problems. It has several significant and negative effects for mental health and physical health of the person. It also results in social isolation and withdrawal symptom whenever the person is not allowed an access to mobile phone or internet, so that they cannot play games on it. We can manage gaming addiction with the help of cognitive behavior therapy, getting connected with support networks, establishing boundaries, and seeking professional help whenever necessary. These are the references that you can go through to enhance your knowledge. Few more references are there, and you can refer to these books also. They will also help you to understand the topic better. Thank you very much for your kind attention.